Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us in this info session hosted by the Northwestern Undergraduate Research Journal. The purpose of this info session is to answer your questions about the submission process and hopefully demystify it as well. We're going to be covering specifically on how to submit to NURJ online, and hopefully after today, you'll gain a better understanding of the overall process and have some of your questions answered. This is going to be our agenda for today. So first we'll be covering what the NURJ is and what we do as a journal. Then we're going to move on to the various details and guidelines for the upcoming edition of NURJ Online Spring Edition. And then we're going to talk about the variety of works and how to submit them in the submission process. And finally, we'll be covering frequently asked questions that we have received in the past.
So what is the NURJ? So the NURJ itself is the Northwestern Undergraduate Research Journal, which is an annual student-produced journal that showcases the outstanding work done by Northwestern undergraduates from every field, academic field here. The NURJ is a Library of Congress recognized publication, and the works that are published are peer-reviewed and faculty-reviewed. Also, works published within the NURJ will get a DOI, or digital object identifier, which is kind of a virtual, I guess, bookmark, or it's pretty much a URL that will exist far beyond the NURJ's website itself and will allow your work to be found anytime. Anytime. So our mission itself is really to provide a channel for undergraduate students to share and publish their research and really complement Northwestern as a research institution and kind of really emphasize all the work being done. Our platforms itself are the annual print edition, which is NURJ paper, and our quarterly online edition, also known as NURJ Online. Here you'll see the recent cover of NURJ paper, and it's in the physical annual print journal, and it publishes exclusively written work that are senior honor theses and work nominated by the departments itself. We collect work up till fall of 2021. That's when our deadline is, and it's published annually. So here you'll see some of the actual articles within it, and they're really cute, and our design team puts a lot of work into making sure everything looks great. So this is past work done by past Northwestern undergrads. NURJ Online is our quarterly online publication, and it accepts work from all undergrads no matter the year. And the work published itself can be any format. It can be paper, artwork, podcasts, and this is really something we've been working on recently in terms of accepting multimedia publications and submissions. So NURJ paper does specific packages as well, and such as the global health package that we did at the beginning of the pandemic, and the multimedia package was this past one, which had a large number of multimedia submissions in it. 1851 is a work showcasing work done related to racial issues at Northwestern and kind of the history of that. We've also done collaborations with CARS, which is a Chicago-wide research expo, as well as Northwestern's own undergraduate research expo with the Office of Undergraduate Research. So these are some of the banners that you'll see on our website if you go look at the past NURJ online publications. So yeah, this is what the work itself looks like if you want to look at NURJ online articles. This is the outreach team. The one speaking right now is Alex Sullivan. I'm the associate managing editor for outreach.
Yep, and I was the other one speaking earlier. My name is Joy Zhen, and I am the managing editor. We also have two other members on our team, Ada and Karan, and they're both the outreach coordinators. These will be the people who will be taking care of the submission process and being the ones corresponding with you and helping you throughout and ensuring that your submission is good to go for consideration for NURJ. So then we're going to dive into the upcoming edition of NURJ Online. The deadline is May 15th, 2021. We're going to be accepting submissions on a rolling basis. So we recommend submitting earlier for the best chances of consideration for this upcoming publication. We're accepting all types of works, traditional written formats such as research papers and theses, as well as essays, but we're also accepting non-traditional formats such as artwork, short films, screenplays, musical or theatrical performances, in addition to presentations, research talks, podcasts, and interviews. We do ask that whatever you're submitting must not be published elsewhere and should not be a result of a class project. So then we're going to also move into the submission process. So what are the guidelines and where should I begin? You may notice that there is a QR code in the corner that goes to our submission form. So if you want to go there and follow along, you can. This will be on the bottom of the following slides of this section. So the timeline of submission. So outreach will be mostly involved in the two bolded points that you see here. So when solicitation opens, usually solicitation opens at the beginning of each quarter. And while it is open, we're going to be, as a team, we're going to be reviewing the submissions, making sure that everything that is needs to be there is there. So making sure that that you submitted the correct you save the correct file or your forms are fully complete. If you're missing something, we'll be prepping the information in order to pass it on to the editorial team. Once it gets to the editorial team, they're going to select what pieces they want to publish, and then they're going to work on these pieces. I do want to mention that you may receive emails from the editorial team. If they contact you, be sure to be on the lookout for that because they're going to ask some clarifying questions and work with you in order to make sure that your piece is ready for publication. Once it is edited, it will be passed on to the design team who create those wonderful graphics that you've seen earlier. And once those graphics are created, we're going to finalize the content and we're going to publish on our website, thenurj.com. So then we're going to discuss what we look for in thesis/research papers, which are the most common form of submissions that we get. When it comes to formatting, we ask you that you submit a editable copy, so save it as a doc. It must be 10 to 15 pages, double spaced, not including citations. However, if your paper is less than 10 to 15 pages, we accept that as well. Please make sure that your paper is in APA format and make sure that your citations are in APA style footnotes. There's also an optional section where you can upload your full thesis. So you can upload your paper in its entirety. And this is mainly for the purpose of positioning various figures you may have in your paper. You can add up to 10 figures or images to your paper. So if you have graphs, photographs or anything like that, you can attach those. If you do have more than 10, you can contact the outreach and just email us at outreach@thenurj.com to submit those additional figures or photos. Then we're also going to ask you to provide information on your faculty advisor, such as their name, email, and what department they work under. So we have that information and can contact them as well if necessary.
We also accept posters and presentations, and the formatting for this, just submit a safe PDF of your overall poster, and we also ask that you include a paragraph length abstract discussing what your work includes. And also there'll be a section to discuss, give us information on your faculty advisor.
Artwork. When you're submitting artwork, please save it as a .jpeg. There are no dimension requirements, so there's a minimum or maximum of how many pixels you can submit. However, it will be best that you submit the best quality or highest resolution possible. So when we publish it, it looks as good as it can be. We also ask you to write a description/caption for your artwork. This may include medium, size, and whatever information you may also want to include along with your artwork.
For essays, we ask that you save your essay as a .doc file, and there are no specific page requirements, but we do ask that you use the same APA style footnotes. Also, if you can include a paragraph length description of your work and kind of give us some background on your piece, as well as provides information on your faculty advisor.
When it comes to interviews, again, please save as a doc, and we need an editable copy of whatever written interviews that you have done. In your paragraph length description, please describe the interview topic that you're talking about, as well as names and backgrounds of your interviewees. There is a space where you can add an additional file upload. This can be anything you want. If you have a video of your interview, say, for example, you can upload that interview video as well.
For podcasts, we ask that you save it as a WAV file, an MP3, and it's important that you give us a paragraph length description that kind of discuss what the podcast topic was. Maybe if it's from a series, give us some information on that. Also include the names of any guests that are within your podcast. And there's also going to be additional space below that you can upload a file if there's perhaps a video or anything else that you would like to include.
And then our second to last section that you can submit on the form is a video. So if you're submitting a video, you can either upload the video itself or provide a link. We do want to let you know that there is a 1 GB max. If your video exceeds 1 GB, we recommend you upload it to another website such as YouTube or Vimeo, and then linking that on the form instead. We ask you to describe what type of video you upload, whether it's a research talk, interview video, short film, or performance, and give a description of the topic and the premises of the video. And again, the additional file upload if you have anything else to accompany it, just in case.
And lastly, there's our other category, and this is any work that you don't think fits into any other category. And just give us a description of your project within the open caption area, and outreach. Someone from outreach will be in contact with you. There's also the additional file upload space where you can upload anything else you would like to. Yeah. Finishing the submission as a whole, it's important that you provide us an author agreement form, a completed one. This must be completed by you and your faculty advisor. And we must stress here that if your form does not have signatures from you and your faculty advisor, we cannot publish your work. If you don't have a faculty advisor, it may not specifically be an individual that has the title as that, but any supervisor, any PI, a principal investigator, or anyone kind of overseeing your work can fill in for this role. There's also a required author Q&A form, which kind of asks you questions about your topic and its impact, as well as how did you find out about the NURJ and other specific questions about you.
Another aspect of finishing the submission is attaching a headshot of you, preferably a 500 by 500 pixel resolution. So then we can attach it to your article so people can see who has done the research work. When you are attaching your headshot, we also ask you to include an image release permission. So just say courtesy of blank of whoever owns that image. It could be courtesy of your name, courtesy of your friend who took the picture. Just make sure to include that as well. For the short biography, you have 100 words max to give a little background of who you are, your academic interests, your hobbies, things that you enjoy, your goals, anything that you want to go in there. And this short biography will accompany your work. There's also another field where you can disclose what grants you have associated with your work. And again, another area where you can put where you have learned about the NURJ and where you've learned of our journal. So then now we come to our final section, frequently asked questions. So the first question is, what if I don't have a faculty advisor? This was covered earlier, but to reiterate, if you don't have a specific faculty advisor or someone who is assigned to supervise you in your project, as long as it is someone who can confirm that the work that you have done and are submitting is your original work from conception to completion, that person can sign instead. It could, again, be your principal investigator in your lab, or it could be someone who you've been working with or your mentor. But if you do have further questions, don't be afraid to reach out to us and we can help you figure out and identify a potential signer instead of your faculty advisor. Does my advisor have to be from Northwestern? No. Your faculty member does not have to be from Northwestern if they're from another college or another institution. As long as you are a Northwestern undergraduate, you can submit your work to the NURJ. What if I can't submit by the deadline? We do provide extensions from a case-based bias, but make sure that you are in contact with us and that we know about your specific situation, so then we can coordinate with you a extension uh, if necessary. Do I have to edit my work before submitting? We do recommend that you edit and proofread your work to the best of your abilities and make sure that it's up to publishing standards. However, when it comes to actual editing, our editors will mainly take care of any additional things that they think is necessary for publication. Can I publish in both the NURJ and another journal? The NURJ has the non-exclusive right to publish your work. However, if you are in a situation where you're considering submitting to NURJ and another journal, we do recommend you to reach out to us so then we can discuss the nuances and details of each specific situation. And finally, can I publish even if I'm already graduated? Yes, you can. Like we mentioned, a lot of our theses that we publish for our paper journal are from seniors who have graduated the year before. But this is not only limited to NURJ paper. You can also submit if your work if you are a graduate for NURJ online, as long as you're a graduate of the previous academic year. So yeah, that was our info session. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that what we covered in the submission process was helpful to you and hopefully in your journey to submit to the NURJ online. If you have any further questions, don't be afraid to contact us at outreach@thenurj.com. And we will see you another time and hopefully we'll be able to help you on your submission process.